Good morning, people. It's a bit breezy this morning. We're still in August, but we do find ourselves in a bit of a lockdown. So due to the shortage of water on the Inland Waterways network, basically CRT have locked off pretty much everything, meaning that the locks in that direction are locked and you can only go an hour and 40 minutes that way, and then in the north direction you can get up as far as Atherstone, which is, I don't know, 6 hours, something like that, and the locks are locked that way. So we do have the Ashby Canal still open to us, which is good. So at least our hirers can get a week's holiday from here up to there, which is good. So this week's job, well, we had one, but unfortunately the owner didn't want it to go onto social media, and we totally respect that. So there is no boat this week. We've done the work and it has gone, but we do have other things to try and entertain you with. Now, part of my business is, because I have several, is a bit of a hobby workshop. You may have seen cars in the background and stuff like that. Well, I do work on kind of older cars. I don't do modern stuff because I don't have the computing capacity for them, and I'm not interested in them. And it's mainly friends and family that I take on projects, and we have them on the ramp. And this is my beloved ramp. You can see it here. Unfortunately, it is in the scrap pile, which is waiting to be collected. I've had this ramp, well, I've been round this ramp since I did my apprenticeship. I did my apprenticeship using this ramp. I'm absolutely gutted that we've had to take it out of the workshop. It did bring a tear to my eye. But nothing lasts forever, and it just got to a point where it was unserviceable and in fact uninsurable. So had to come out and, well, let's go and see what we've got. Okay, so like I say, I like to do interesting cars, or just helping people out more than anything else. That friends that have just got to a point with a project and they're stuck, that's the kind of thing we've had in here. I think there's a couple of pictures of them floating above me right now. So Lift Tech, that's where we got this bad boy from. Thank you, people of Lift Tech. Very good service, came on time, and good company to work with. So this one's a bit different to the old one, meaning that the old one had this like H pattern. You can see it in the concrete where it was, but the new one requires ground anchor bolts putting in. We've bored the holes out because we're going to use a resin, which I've never done before, and the front ones, we've put the front ones in already, and I have made myself a template so that we can make sure that we get them in the right place. So sorry it's not boats. I have got some boating content for you coming up. So a bit of time lapse of me playing with glue. So this is the threaded bar we're going to be using. It's 20mm, and I need to cut it down into sections of just over 200mm long. And this is the glue we're going to stick it all in with. Let's crack on. Okay, so one of the things we've got to do is make sure that all the holes are cleaned out. Airline and a hoover. Well, that's them all glued in, and that stuff does go off pretty quickly. I've got a boat to go and do a job on now, so I'll leave this to harden off and come back to it probably in a couple of days and get these lift stanchions mounted on top of the studs. Okay, today's job is removing a top rudder stock bearing, so we'll give it a go. So, as you can see, what's happened here is that the centre part of the bearing is stuck to the shaft. So now we're going to have to clean all the slot up and actually cut this off. So that's the old bearing removed. Time to get it cleaned up and fit the new one. So the little grub screws on the side are just done up hand tight so that the shaft can pass through the bearing if you were to seal the boat. So the last part of this job is making sure the swan's neck, that's the top half of this rudder assembly, is square to the bottom bit, the blade, and injecting some grease into the new bearing. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking this thing comes pre-greased. Well, it doesn't.
Is there anything I should be doing with it, maintenance-wise?
They do have a grease nipple, which is on here.
Yeah, I know the thing.
But if you have to have a grease gun to do it with, really.
Okay.
It's sort of thing that.
I mean, last time I just sort of put a
Yeah,
little grease in there,
it will. When you have it serviced, just ask, can you put some grease in there for me?
Right, okay.
Because most reputable mechanics will have a grease gun.
Okay.
They should have anyway, and just pump a little bit more in there. I think it's worth going out and buying one for the annual anniversary of greasing your nipples.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jane, got your work done for the week? Did you do much work this week?
Yeah. Lots of work this week.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Well, I did quite a lot this week as well. Anyway, let's not get bogged down by who did what this week, work-wise. What you got then?
Tuna jacket tater.
Tuna jacket tatey, and I have got beans and cheese. And cake of the week is St. Clementine's cake. Not sure what that is. I'm guessing it's going to be a lemony vibe to that. Orange. Ah, Jane says it's orange. Well, I'm looking forward to that anyway. So there you go. St. Clementine's cake it is. Enjoy. Last job of the week, ramp installation. Got a little bit of help here as we locate the stanchions over the studs that I glued in a few days ago. And then putting the arms and everything onto the mechanisms either side, and finally test it with a car. Well, that's the ramp all installed, and you're looking at a 38-year-old Escort, partly restored. Now the ramp's fixed, I can continue with my restoration project on it, and other people's projects that they get stuck with and need a hand. Good job all round. Catch you next week.